Good morning. I've got an interesting article for you. There has been just a ton, a ton of news coming out this morning. However, this one is absolutely notable, and I wanted to shed some light on it. So let's go ahead on over to the web view here. And as you see, the headlines say, new Rittenhouse law would hold prosecutors accountable. Very interesting. This is what the article has to say. An Oklahoma state senator has introduced legislation that would force the state to compensate defendants accused of murder but later found not guilty due to justifiable homicide and named it Kyle's Law after Kyle Rittenhouse. Introduced on Tuesday by State Senator Nathan Dahm, a Republican who was running for the U.S. Senate, Kyle's Law would force Oklahoma to cover the legal fees and damages incurred by anyone accused of murder but found to have been acting in self-defense if the defendant could prove they were the victim of malicious prosecution. With the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, we've seen the impact prosecutors can have on our rights being attacked and possibly taken away for political reasons, Dahm tweeted, adding that his new legislation would also make prosecutors personally liable for pursuing such cases. It says here last week, a Wisconsin jury found Rittenhouse not guilty of first-degree homicide, attempted homicide, and reckless endangerment, charges stemming from his shooting dead of 2 men and wounding of another during a Black Lives Matter protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin last August. All 3 shootings were captured on video, and this footage combined with witness testimony convinced the jury that Rittenhouse acted in self-defense. The template for Kyle's Law was drawn up by Andrew Branca, an attorney specializing in law of self-defense, in the wake of Rittenhouse's acquittal. Branca's proposed law would be groundbreaking in that it would compel prosecutors to personally compensate defendants and their families for mental and emotional distress and reputational damage suffered during a case. At present, no state has such law in its books, while only one, Washington, allows the victims of such prosecutions to claim compensation from the state. Only by holding the state generally and the prosecutor personally both responsible for such cases of unjust persecution of self-defense cases can we keep these victims of violent attack from also becoming victims of an assaultive justice system, Branca wrote. Hey, I agree with that. While Dahm is currently attempting to convince more Oklahoma lawmakers to co-author this bill, it likely stands a better chance of becoming law there than elsewhere. Oklahoma has a Republican governor, is considered a gun-friendly state, and the GOP controls both houses of its state legislature and by wide margins. So, like I say, this is a very interesting addition to everything else that's going on. And I'm going to be very interested to see how this plays out and whether or not they are able to actually put this into law. And if so, you may see several states follow suit. In fact, I would expect to see several states going more towards gun-friendly, self-defense-friendly. I think you're very possibly going to see more states sign on to things like the castle doctrine and whatnot. I think you're going to see some definite strides because, man, there is just like he said, just like he said, and I'll repeat his quote again. Only by holding the state generally and the prosecutor personally both responsible for such cases of unjust persecution of self-defense cases can we keep these victims of violent attack from also becoming victims of an assaultive justice system. Absolutely. I could not agree with that anymore. So, anyway, there you go. I'll leave the link to this article in the description. You can either share the video, share the article. Hey, plant that seed. I would like to see a lot of states get on board with stuff like this. All right. Hope you have a good day. Talk to you later. Shalom.